And we are live. As always, guys, I want to welcome you to the Coach Beast Show, where we are always talking about youth football coaching strategies. And the favorite part of this show, I would assume for you guys, is this is where your questions get answered in our Q&A. I'm Coach Beast. Now, if you just chiming into the channel, you've been following the channel and you are not following me yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so it can draw more like-minded coaches into the war room. Guys, I'm super excited. We got a few things that we're going to talk about today before we get into the live Q&A. There's four things. There's four things that I want you to focus on this season if you want to win more games, score more points, and even possibly win a championship this season. These are four things that I've done over the years that's really going to, I believe, really going to help transform your program and take it to the next level, because basically these four principles elevated my brand, my personal brand, but also elevated my youth football programs. Now, before we get into the show, as always, do me a solid. Let me know where you're coming from, city and state. Shout out to Coach Eric. He already know. He's checking in from Huntington, West Virginia. One of my favorite spots or favorite states. I went to West Virginia. It's been a while now, probably about 8-9 years ago, and loved the state. Made a lot of friends there in West Virginia. All right, we got Wisconsin in the house. We got Texas in the house. Liberty Hill, Texas in the house. We got Jacksonville, Florida in the house. What's up, Jacksonville? We got Grand Junction, Colorado in the house. Coach Deuce, how you doing, brother? We got Coach Mike Bush in the house from Waterbury, Connecticut, another state that I enjoy. But when I went, it was freezing. But nevertheless, I enjoyed that state. Who else we got here? We got Mexico in the house. Coach Flores, what's going on, my man? Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Duval. We got Duval in the house. Awesome. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing nobody. This is the time for you to shout out your team, shout out your location, your city, your state, before we get on with the show. We got Coach Sean in the house from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. We got my boy Coach Marv in the house from Seaside, California. How you doing, Coach? Hope all is well, my man. We got Coach Anthony in the house, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, real talk. Here's some real talk. Nashville, Tennessee has to be one of the nicest cities I ever been to. As a matter of fact, I've been telling Ms. Beast that I want to take her to Nashville just to experience that city. Absolutely love Nashville. We got the Charlotte Lions. All right, that's Coach Anthony's team, the Charlotte Lions. Let's see. We got Broward County, Florida in the house. Shout out to you, Coach. We got the Waxahachie Tomahawks in the house. I hope I said that right. From Waxahachie, Texas. Let's get it. All right, guys. Make sure I'm not missing any of my Facebook people. Coach Lauren in the house. Council Corning, New York. Shout out to the Cobras. Shout out to you, Coach. Thank you for chiming in to the show. All right, guys. So let's get to it. Let's get right to it. Before we get into the Q&A, there are four things, guys, I want to share with you that I really want you to focus on this season if you want to win more games and score more points. Guys, I got a heater underneath my table here, and it's burning me up. I have to push it back. But, guys, focus on these four things, all right? Put a 1 in the comments if you're ready for me to go down this list of 4 things I want you to focus on that absolutely changed not only who I am as a coach, but also elevated my program to a whole nother level. Put a 1 in the comments if you're ready. Let me know. Let me know. Or, I can keep it, I can keep it to myself. I can keep it to myself. I like to hold my gold, right? I really don't. I like to share. I like secrets. Have y'all ever watched like a YouTube video or went to like a workshop or something like that, and the person that's actually teaching don't actually give you their secret? They don't actually like tell you what's that like one thing that will like change your whatever, change your business, change your life, change your relationships, right? It's always that one person, right? Well, I'm not like that. I like to share. I love to share actually my secrets with you guys. Okay, guys. All right, here we go. Number 1, if you want a program that's the standard in your league for years to come, a program that not only boosts your program reputation, but also boosts your reputation as a coach, a leader, a man, a woman, a mentor of both men and children, the first thing you need to do in your program, number 1, you got to get your money right in your program. All right. You got to get your money right. And I'm starting with kind of the no-brainer one. Okay. Now, I'm here to tell you guys, when I first started coaching youth football at 20 years old, I was broke, man. Like I really haven't, at that time, I really didn't start to live for real, because I went to the Air Force. I had this whole plan that I was going to serve the country for 4 years, right? Serve the country for 4 years minimum. And then when I come out, I was going to finish my education, finish my schooling. And that was one of the reasons why I went, but I also wanted to serve the country, serve the community, help others. And, I was going to come out, work in corporate America. Well, things didn't work that way, right? So I ended up coming back home, had a medical issue. So they sent me home, med discharge. That dream was over, right? And then, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And in the meanwhile, I kept driving by my old elementary school, and I used to see youth football team out there practicing. And then I decided that, okay, what I'm going to do is let me go to this field and let me see how I can get into coaching. And I make a long story short, because I don't want to dive into the genesis of me coaching. But to make a long story short, I coached my first youth football team at 20 years old, broke. I didn't even have a job at that time, I don't think, because I had just came home, and I just knew I wanted to help. I wanted to make an impact and all of that stuff. And literally for probably the first 4 or 5 years of me coaching, as I, of course, progressed in my life, I started to have a little bit more money, but still, we were trying to ask parents to, donate money for the program, for the things we wanted to do. And similar to you guys, appreciate you, Coach Deuce, man. Coach Deuce says, thank you for your service, man. I appreciate that, man. Much love and respect. But, as I started to get money in the program, and I'm kind of speeding ahead because I want to get to all of these points and give you guys time to ask your questions as well. As things progress, I realized that if I wanted true freedom in my program, where I didn't have to put up with drama, put up with BS, right? I had to raise money in my program to where we were totally independent from needing money from anybody, particularly the parents, right? Because here's the thing, guys. Most of you guys, the way you raise money is you do a car wash, you do a bake sale, you do something to get $100, $200 here, $300 there. I don't like doing that. I like to get thousands. I don't like to get hundreds. I like to get thousands, right? So, for us, one thing that I started doing was getting sponsorships from businesses in exchange from their donation, right? All we do is put their logo or their number on, our jerseys, on our backpacks, our spirit packs, you name it. And they're like, sure, we'll give you $3,000. Sure, we'll give you $5,000 for your uniform. Can we just put our name on the uniform or on the back of the helmet? How much traffic do you get at games? And we'll tell them, we get 500 adults, 1,000 adults, usually like 500 adults, 3 to 5. And they say, wow, great. Here's your $3,000 for your program. Let us know if you need anything else. And before you know it, you get 2 or 3 or 4 of those guys who will donate, 3,000 here, 4,000 there, 5,000 here, right? And now you got $12,000 in the bank to work with for your football season. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So, number 1, get your money right. Number 2, develop your entire roster. And I got silent for a reason, because I know when I said that, y'all thought about that one kid, right? Who, not a football player. And you like, man, this kid, I couldn't use this kid. Put a 1 in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. You got 1 or 2 kids on your roster that you can't use at all. He don't learn. He don't do the drills right. He don't do the techniques right. And you're like, man, I'm just going to plug this kid in somewhere. Give me a 1 if you can relate to this. And if you can't relate, if you can't relate, you ain't coaching youth football enough, because every year you're going to have 1 or 2 kids who you just don't know what to do. But you coach, if you want to separate yourself from other football teams in your program, become really good at roster management and player development. It's going to attract so many kids all over the city to your program. And this goes, this poses a question. And this is a deep question. I want you to think about this, coach. What kind of team are you? What kind of team do you want? Is what kind of team you want in alignment with what kind of team you actually are? Let me break it down. Do you want to be the team that has the reputation of, when kids come to your program, you're able to develop them, you're able to get them an opportunity to play, get playing time? Or do you want to be the team where you don't play all your players? At the end of the season, parents are upset and they pull the kid from your program, which, yeah, every year, there's going to be a level of attrition. But at the same time, you want to be the program where parents bring their kids to. I'm going to tell you the type of program we are, okay? Just to put this in perspective for you, all right? We are the kind of program where if your kid didn't get playing time at the program they was in, the previous program they was in, they come to us, because they know we're going to take the kid, develop the kid, give the kid playing time and the opportunity to shine and do what you need to do. Okay. Now, let me be clear about something real quick though, right? We understand that sometimes we get kids that we can't do nothing with, right? I'm talking about, you got kids come and they got, special needs, they may be autistic or got really severe ADHD or something like that. And it's just almost impossible for them to play. They really don't even need to be out there. And I got a story about that. I had a player, right? and that came out to our summer workouts, and this kid was dealing with like severe ADHD. Like literally, this kid couldn't stay in line for stretching. He couldn't do the drills because his attention was just being pulled, right? And this kid was in the program for about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before his mom. Well, let me back up. His mom ended up pulling him from the program about 2.5 weeks in. But about a week in, she would come and she would start complaining, saying, well, you know, I don't feel like my son's being engaged enough. I don't feel like, you know, he's doing the drills, enough. He's not getting enough attention. And I said, ma'am, we can't keep your kid in place for 5 seconds without him running off. And you'll get some parents who will put their kid on the team and they know their kid got issues where they can't play. But they'll put them out there and they'll put them on you and your coaches. And when you get kids like that, okay, you can't do nothing with them. Because it's not a matter of not having the ability to be physical and play football. It's the mindset, it's the special need that the kid has. And so some kids may have special needs and have issues that you can work around. You know, I've had kids who are, you know, autistic or ADHD, and we were able to work with those kids. And you know, let me say this, guys, you know, I've been working with kids, man, since I was a kid myself. I got a lot of work experience and career experience dealing with kids. And there are some kids that just need to be in, you know, a sport or an activity that really stimulates their mind, opposed to, you know, a sport that requires them to use all their functioning, you know, all their faculties in a way to where they're not capable of because they have special needs, right? So these are the kids I'm not talking about. Some of these kids you have to just put in when you can because you don't want them to get hurt or something like that. But I'm talking about the kids who may not have the physical ability right away to do what you need them to do. They may not have the ability right away, but if you develop them a little bit, they may be a D-tier player when you get them, but you may be able to develop them into a C-tier player, to where they contribute a little bit more. They may not be a high impact A-tier player or a B-tier support guy or a rising star, right? They may just be a kid that needs the attention to develop and can actually do something if you put the time and energy into them. And let me say this before I go to number 3, is that sometimes, you know, these kids develop into all-stars at junior high, JV, and varsity levels. They may have not blossomed yet. I can't tell you how many kids I get on my team. Literally one of the best quarterbacks I ever had came from a program where he didn't get no playing time. I put this kid on my team quarterback. This kid just run amok, won league MVP, the whole 9 yards. And the kid didn't get no playing time the year before. But we made an effort to give that kid the opportunity to play. Y'all feel me? And I hope that makes sense. If you got any questions around this or anything I'm talking about, guys, feel free to put them in the comments, and I will answer it during our Q&A. Also, speaking of Q&A, of course, my IG people, at 6:30, we're going to switch to YouTube to go full-fledged with the Q&A. So I'm going to drop the link before we make the switch, and that allow you to be able to switch over to YouTube if you have questions. And also, sometimes I miss questions, okay? If you want to guarantee that your question is answered, there is a super chat option, okay? You donate any amount to the super chat, and your question will pop up, and I'll answer your question, okay? All right. Let's go to number 3. Let's go to number 3. And number 4 is juicy. Y'all stay for number 4 because it's super juicy. Number 3, focus on blocking and tackling this year. Look, just about every video I do, I tell y'all, Have it focused, have it a goal to be the number one blocking team and tackling team in your league this season. Have it your goal to be that, okay? Because the best blocking team and tackling team usually make it to the championship. The mistake that a lot of coaches make is that they focus on their skill guys too much and they neglect their big boys. So they have a mediocre offensive line and a mediocre defensive line. And now you're depending on your skill guys to win the games for you. That's a mistake. It takes 11 people on offense and 11 people on defense, 11 people on special teams. And you have to be able to develop, and that goes back to my number one, right? You have to, my number two, you have to develop all of your kids. It's so important. It's so freaking valuable to develop all of your kids, because if you don't, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And if you got 4 or 5 kids on the sideline that never get playing time, and one of your starters go down, and you plugging a kid in, they don't know what the hell he's doing. Now your whole team is in trouble and susceptible to anything happening during the game. And usually it's not good, right? And let me say this. The kids that need the most development are the kids who need most of your attention. They're the ones who need the personal touch and the training and the development. You don't need to neglect them. Those are the ones you want to develop, because you're going to be a tough team to beat when all of your guys know what they're doing. They can execute. They don't have to be a high impact player. They can just be a support player, know how to block, put helmet on helmet, know how to occupy a gap. With some of you guys, y'all are 1 or 2 developmental players away from having a winning record. Some of you guys are 1 or 2 developmental players. I ain't saying all-star players, just developmental players away from going to the championship. I've lost playoff games by putting a backup center in when one of my centers went down. I've done that before when I was young and I didn't know any better. And then I learned that everybody got to be developed, because we may get in a 2-minute drill situation, a 60-second, situation in the game where one of our players get hurt and we need somebody to step up in a critical position. So make sure you develop your players and you focus on blocking and tackling this year to be the number 1, number 2 team in your league in both areas. And I don't want you to compromise off of that, because that changed my coaching. When I put an emphasis on blocking and tackling for my entire team, and then I took over my offensive line opposed to my quarterbacks and my wide receivers, it changed everything for me. Because when you got the best blocking team in the league and all 11 players on offense can actually block, it changes things. Put a 1 in the comments, guys, if you get that, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Just put a 1 in the comment if that makes sense. Before we get to number 4. And for everybody who just came in, man, look, welcome to the Coach Beast Show. Definitely hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. All right. And if you're looking to tool up and you want my entire system, all you have to do is go to my playbook store. I got the link here in the banner, and I'm also going to put the link in the comment section. Let me do that now. If you're interested in visiting the store, checking out all 17 of my playbooks and drill books, things of that nature. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Let me drop this in the comment section. All right. All right, just dropped it to the YouTube chat. About to drop it in the Instagram chat. Boom, it's done. It's dropped. Awesome. All right, guys. Let me see if I can put that up. Perfect. All right, y'all ready for number 4? Number 4. It's a juicy one. If you're ready for number 4, give me a hell yeah in the comments. If you're ready for number 4, give me a hell yeah in the comments. Oh, I don't see no ones yet. I don't see no ones. I guess y'all don't want me to go into number 4. Got one hell yeah. Shout out to you, Jassy. Bruce, hell yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Lauren, we got a hell yeah. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, awesome. Number 4. Y'all not ready for this one. Number 4. Coach, be careful who you sleep with. I'm gonna be more specific. Be careful who you sleep with in your program. About a third of y'all just went in your mind and like, God damn, what in the world? I wasn't expecting him to say that. Let me tell you why. As a youth football coach, you're going to get a lot of temptation, bro. You're going to get a lot of temptation as a youth football coach. Now, I got to speak from a male's perspective. If there are women on here, look, I'm sorry. You know, I'm a man. I can only speak from a male's perspective on this. All right. But as a youth football coach, you're going to attract a lot of women. You know why? Because there are a lot of single moms who bring little Johnny on your team. And those single moms, they watch and they see how you engage with little Johnny and how little Johnny engage with you, how little Johnny talks about you when he gets home, how much little Johnny enjoys you being their coach, right? And what happens is mom gets kind of attracted. She get a little turned on about that. Don't tell me how I know. Don't tell me how I know. And what's going to happen, coach, is whether you're winning or losing, you're going to attract women. But if you're winning, you're definitely going to attract women, and you're going to start having moms come to you. They may be straight up honest and say, hey, they attracted, and they want you to come to the house. They want you to take them on a date. They want you to, you know, so I'm gonna be straight up and say, hey, what you doing Friday night? And before you know it, coach, you get caught up. And now it gets awkward once you get caught up. What up, Chief? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing good, Chief. But guys, I'm here to tell you, it's dangerous. And let me tell y'all a little bit about Coach Beast real quick. All right. Let me give y'all a little story so y'all can get to know me a little bit on a personal level. So for me, I got married young. I was married and I divorced before remarrying Miss Beast. And I was married 11 years. I got married young, guys. I was 19 when I got married. And remember, guys, I was planning to be a military boy. I was planning to be an airman in the Air Force. So I was planning to get married, got married, and, you know, when you get married young, and this is why I always tell you guys, too, you want to make sure that your spouse is involved, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I was married 11 years. I divorced at 30, got married at 19, divorced at 30, and then I was a single dude for 5 years. I didn't even know I was going to get married again. Guys, look, I didn't have plans to get married again. I didn't have, hey, look, after I divorced, I was terrified because at that time I was like, man, I never lived as a single dude, you know, as an adult. Like, you know, from 19 to 30, I was married, right? But man, when I became a bachelor, you know, It's like I dated a lot. I had fun. I was a bachelor, right? But when you're coaching youth football and you a bachelor and you as handsome as I am, as Coach Beast is, when you are as handsome as Coach Beast is, you draw women. When you're a winner, like Coach Beast is, you draw women. And one of the toughest temptations, and I'm talking to both of you single and married dudes, okay? I'm gonna address the single guys first, and then I'm gonna talk to you married guys, okay? Because at the end of the day, these moms don't care if you married or single. If they can get you, they're gonna try to get you, okay? But if you are a single dude, it's even harder because now you're like, man, I got this single mom coming over. She's in my face before or after every practice. Now she texting me. Now she's saying, hey, you know, what you doing Saturday night? I'm free. Just come over to the crib. Let's have fun. She said, let you know, hey, Coach Beast, what you doing? And if you're not careful, you're going to be over there and you're going to get caught up. And once you get caught up, you can't take that back. And at practice, man, it's this funny. And when you at practice, after you done the deed and you see little Johnny, her little Johnny for the first time, it's going to feel awkward, bro. It's going to be awkward. And then you see her, it's going to be awkward. And don't let little Johnny be in a critical position on your team. Don't let little Johnny be a running back or quarterback or, you know, a wide. Jesus, don't let him be a wide receiver. Because then mama going to say, hey, because she feel like now, you know, y'all have shared an intimate moment. Now she's going to say, hey, coach. She's going to feel like she can talk to you any kind of way, right? Hey, coach, hey, why isn't my little Johnny getting more playing time? I feel like you should pass the ball more to him. I feel like, you know, my son's really a quarterback, coach. And now you got that pressure, right? Now you got that pressure to make sure little Johnny gets playing time, and don't let that mom who you shared that intimate moment with, don't let her get mad at you. Oh man. Now I never dealt with a situation where, you know, I done the deed and a mom got mad at me, but I got fellow friends who coach youth football who have. And when I tell you, it ruined their program. It ruined their reputation. And all it takes, and this is for my married guys, if you're married and you're doing it, number one, you should get everything you deserve because you put yourself in that position. Choices have consequences. And if you're a married man, and look, you got, you know, you may have problems going on at the house where you're not getting it like you want, or y'all just having relationship issues. And then those moms come and for some reason, when you have relationship issues, man, people feel it like women feel it. And before you know it, that mom, and usually it's the baddest one too. That's just being honest. Usually it's the baddest mom, you know, in the bunch that's going to come. So anyway, just be careful, guys. Please be careful. Because the last thing you want is to get caught up, have a nightmare season, because now you done slept with a mom or moms. I know some coaches who get around their whole program. Okay. And now you got pressure. You on thin ice because all you got to do is make one of them mad before they expose you, especially if you got one who don't kind of crazy. You know, you get one that's kind of crazy, she'll do anything. She'll put you on Facebook, social media, and say, hey, you know, this coach did this. Don't coach. I've seen it, guys. I've seen it. You won't have no other guy, no other content creator tell you about this stuff with youth football because it's just real crap. It's real crap. It happens, right? Hey, Hey, Chef said, Chief said, it be single moms with the best athletes on the team. Hey, that's a lot of truth to that. Usually it be the baddest mom with the best player on the team, or like top 2, top 3. And then, you get others that'll follow the leader on that. But usually it be the baddest one. All right, guys. So we're going to get ready to open up our Q&A. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and put your questions in the comments. I'm going to get to your questions. If you're watching this on IG right now, I'm going to put the link to my YouTube. And that way you'll be able to switch over. And like I always say, guys, y'all, some of you may be wondering why I start on 2 platforms and then I switch over to YouTube. I do it because I'm not able to get to all of y'all questions like I want to on Instagram, okay? So to make sure I get to as many questions as possible, I like everything to be concentrated on one platform, and that platform is YouTube. I just put the link in the comments if you're watching this right now on Instagram, and I'm going to leave it up for about 3 minutes or so you can have time to follow that link, and then you can chime in with your questions. All right, so let's get to it. I'm going to get to your questions now. I'm making sure I don't miss anybody here. Oh, nice. All right. Coach Miller says, I warned my assistant coaches preseason during the preseason, and I've cut them I would cut them if it happens. Yeah, man, you got to. Man, look, there are very few things that can shipwreck your program and your reputation. Number one, fighting at a game. If the league is worth anything, if you fight or hit a kid, you're done, right? Your team's season over, your program's over, you are over, right? Number two, stealing money, mishandling funds, that'll get you kicked out of a league, ruin your reputation. And number three, sleeping with the parents, or and this something I forgot to mention, or sleeping with parents on the opposing team side, because you're gonna get parents who like the way you run your program, especially if you follow the way I teach you to run your program. That's the standard of the league. Because here's the thing about women. All right, here's the thing about women in this biology. Women want to mate with the top dog. Okay, women want to mate with the top dog in their social circle. And you got to be mindful and understand that once you're a youth football coach and you win and you leading other men and you leading kids and all of that good stuff, guess what's going to happen? You're the top dog. So you're going to get women coming after you. You're a rock star. And some of these women don't want a relationship. They just want relations, if you know what I mean. That's why I say they don't care if you're married. Some of them just want the trophy of knowing that they slept with the top dog of the program or the top dog in the league. It's a temptation that comes with winning, guys. Coach says situations like this breaks up happy homes and the dynamic. How are you supposed to coach? It's going to get weird, get very weird, very weird. And look, let me say this. And you know, if you got marriage problems and you're thinking about coaching, look, double think your decision, okay? Because for most of us, coaching is a hobby, right? But it's a hobby that requires, people and to be around people. So if you're coaching and you got marriage issues, you're opening yourself up for more temptation. Unless your wife is out there with you, which I recommend, your wife or significant other is out there with you, helping you in the program. That helps a little bit. That helps a lot, actually. you know. But if you got marital issues and y'all thinking about divorce, or you've been having thoughts of stepping out or finding other women or something, be careful, because you can get caught up real hard as a youth football coach. Coach Deuce says, I saw it happen to the head coach when I started coaching, and it didn't end well. The kid got teased every day. I made it a point to never let that happen. Facts. Because I'm here to tell you guys, it happens more than you think. I would say it's rather common, especially nowadays, man. Things are so different, y'all. It used to be a time where when a kid come to play in your program, what they're going to do is, you know, the parents, the mom and the dad is going to come to the field and introduce themselves, introduce the kid, you know, and get to know you. Nowadays, you know, with most programs, 60 to 80% of your kids come from single parent households, and among those households is single moms. So it's a different environment now in the youth football world than when I played, or when I even first started coaching. Y'all know what I mean? And guys, make sure you put your questions in the comments. I want to make sure I get to y'all questions. I know a lot of you guys start asking at the very beginning. Let me see here. All right, this is a great question here. What type of grants can you get to raise money? Or I'm assuming, Coach, what you're asking, Coach JB, what type of grants can you get when you're fundraising, things of that nature, right? So let me say this. Number one, I don't really rely on grants, okay? There's a lot of grants out there. I mean, Nike got grants. That's one that I know of. A lot of these like sports-based businesses have youth grants available. But to be honest with you, your best bet, and when I say best bet, I mean the fastest way to get money for your program, talk to businesses, talk to people with money. Talk to people with money. Like me, I have friends who own their own businesses like I do. I got friends who are 7-figure earners, so them dropping $3,000 to $5,000 is nothing to them, and then they just write it off with taxes. Get around people with money, man. Don't hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm being raw with y'all. Don't waste your time asking people for money who don't have it. And I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way to them, because you will get people donating $20, $10, $5. But if you want the thousands, talk to your friends with money. If you don't have friends with money, go to business owners, have a proposition. The proposition is, you know, and this is very important. I forgot to mention this. When you're asking for money, you need to specify what you need the money for. Don't just say, hey, I want to get money for my youth football program. No, say, hey, we need $5,000 for our youth football team's jerseys. We're trying to get these jerseys here for 30 kids, and it costs $5,000. And we're looking for a business to partner with us in getting this money, or get these funds, speak that language, get those funds. And in exchange, we want to promote your business on our jerseys. You put your number, your logo, your address, you name it. And the next question they're going to ask you is, okay, how much traffic you get? I can't tell you how many business owners came and say, so how much traffic you get at the games or at your practices? And, I always tell them like 500, because, usually it fluctuates depending on the game. Y'all know some games you only got a handful of parents there supporting their kids. Other games is loaded depending on the program and the health of the program and the involvement of the parents, right? But you specify what you need. I remember, guys, a few years back, I needed about, I think it was $5,000. Miss Beast remind me, $5,000. We tried to get a van for our kids because I would pick up a hell of a lot of kids on the back of my truck. And so we decided that, hey, we're going to raise funds to get a van so we can pick up the kids that need to get picked up. And I did that fundraiser. We raised $3,000 in a week. And I think we ended with $6,000 in our program. Oh man, Miss Beast just dropped a gem. Miss B said, I would also say too, don't pay for everything in your program. Parents totally disregard your program if they're not held accountable for fees and equipment. That is the gospel. And as a matter of fact, this issue right here can be as bad as you sleeping with the parents in your program. And I'm gonna tell you why. I have been that coach, guys, several times where I pay for everything. Everything. I put $5,000, $6,000 of my own money towards jerseys, towards registration fee, towards equipment, if kids needed it, towards everything. And I've been in the position where I was left with nothing, not even a thank you from the parents. I get thank you from my kids. But when you are paying for everything, the parents don't feel like they have to be accountable because they haven't invested something they really care about into your program. But when they put that $200, $300, $400 down, for their kid to play, they're going to think about that when little Johnny don't want to go to practice. But if you already paid for everything for the kids, the parents like, oh, okay, look, you don't want to go to practice today? Okay. I don't feel like taking you anyway. And they won't take them. I'm going to tell you this, and this is a fact, guys, and this is me being just totally transparent with you. My best seasons as a coach is when parents paid their registration fees, they paid for their kids' equipment, they was active at practice in terms of like just coming to practice, sitting there watching their kid practice. Those are the best programs I ever had. The worst programs I ever had is when parents don't show up to their kids' practices, don't show up to their kids' games. I end up paying for the registration fee and all of that because you're going to get parents coming, woe is me. Oh, I want my son to play, but we don't have $100 registration fee. And I say, okay, well, we got a scholarship, and we do have a scholarship program where we will sponsor 4 kids who need it, but we don't even promote it. We don't say nothing about that unless we truly see a hardship, and then we'll help. We'll pay the registration fee. That's it. It's only 4. Because I'm also one of them kids, one of those coaches where if you want your kids to really play, you're going to find that money. It's only $100. And I know $100 is a lot for some people. I've been broke before. I've been in a position where my money was tight. But guess what? If I wanted to take my kids to see a movie and they have popcorn, all of that, it's going to be about $100. If I decide I want to take my wife to dinner and bowl and whatever we do, it's going to be $100, $200. You pay for what you value. So I don't even take serious parents who say, well, I can't afford for my kid to pay this fee. I said, well, just keep bringing them and we'll see what happens. And guess what? They find a way to get that money. Just give them an extra week or 2 and they get the money. And there's some parents who truly got a hardship. You know what I'm saying? They may be going through a divorce. They're paying lawyer fees. They may just got fired. Whatever the case may be, and then maybe you can help. But what in my experience, guys, don't pay for everybody's stuff. I bought PlayStations for my entire football team at the end of the season. I didn't get a thank you from the parents. My kids, they love me. Of course. I would love my coach too if he surprised me with a PS4 at the time. This when the PS4 was really big. I love my coach too if my coach surprised me with a PS4 at the banquet. Who wouldn't, right? But I didn't get a thank you from the parents. And I had to learn the hard way. I've lost thousands of dollars, guys, trying to be what I call a hero coach Don't be a hero coach trying to save the world, save the community. Because here's the thing. The problem is a lot of these parents, they don't want to be safe. They're stuck in their ways. And honestly, with some of the parents and some of these families, you are the shining light for that kid. You are the positive role model for their kid. Their parents are not even the role model. Their parents are losers, losing, and they don't care. And I'm telling you, I used to drive 45 minutes to an hour from my house to my hometown to coach in my home neighborhood, giving back to those kids. The parents were 5 minutes away, and I would come 45 minutes to pick up their kids, take them to our practice field 5 minutes away, and the parents would be on the porch barbecuing, chilling, getting drunk, whatever they do, right? They'll be doing all of that bull crap while you're paying, you're spending your time, your gas money to pick the kid up, take them home, take them to games, you name it. And now, you know what I'm saying? Now, what you got to show for it at the end of the season. It's the most depressing feeling at the end of the season. You know, whether you win a championship or not, you're going to find that quiet moment. We all do, where you're sitting in your living room, your man cave, your quiet spot, and you're reflecting over the season. And you're going to have one or two thoughts happen, coach. One or two thoughts. Thought number one, you're going to say, man, I can't wait the next season. Or thought number two, it's going to be, I'm done coaching. I'm tired of this. I can't do this again. I can't spend this amount of money again. I can't be away from my family like this again. And let me know, guys, in the comments, have you ever been in that place, right, after a season where you've just been tired, right? Give me a 1 in the comments. Check this out. Let's play a game. Put a 1 in the comments if you've been that coach where you're like, man, I can't wait the next season. I'm excited. I'm pumped about next season. And put a 2 in the comments if you was the other, which is, I'm done. I'm done coaching football. I can't do it no more. Got a 1. So 1, man, I can't wait the next season. 2, I'm done coaching. I'm done coaching. Forget these kids. I know how y'all think. Dude said 1 and 2. Me too, man. I've been 1 and 2 as well. But understand something, guys, that initial feeling in a quiet spot, whether you say, man, I'm ready for next season, or if you say, well, I'm done, you have to give it like a month of detox. You have to kind of detox, because there are many times where I say, I'm not coaching this year. I'm done. And then I end up start back coaching in March, April, because you get that coach's bug, and then that anxiety and that adrenaline comes. And now you're seeing football stuff, and you may watch youth football videos on YouTube and watch Coach Beast and all of that. And now, you're getting that anxiety and that excitement. And now you're like, man, I can do this year. I can do that this year. Oh, I just got to get bigger kids. Oh, I'm going to get this playbook bundle, right? And I'm going to run the Beast offense. That's what we needed last year. We needed the Beast offense, or we needed the air raid, or we needed the single wing. And now you're ready. You're pumped. And then you had, use me as an example. You have years where, like I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm good. I put 15 years of coaching in, and I want to focus more on my kids. All of my kids are athletes, or student athletes. I got 3 girls, girl dad. They all play sports, multiple sports. And so, and I had a coach tell me a long time ago. He said, look, coach, I know you love coaching football and helping these young men, but you got kids too that need you and need you to help them develop and stuff as well. And he was right. And this was when my girls were little. Then my girls, I got a teenager that's about to start high school. I got another teenager that's about to start middle school, and an 8-year-old. And my 2 oldest, they're at the point where they're starting to blossom. They're really good. And so I have to focus as a dad to position them to be successful as student athletes. And so that requires my time, my energy, my effort, right? And so That's one of the reasons why I haven't coached in 3-4 years. I already put 15 years in. Now it's time to help my kids, right? And it's funny because, let me be more specific. I haven't coached football in 3 or 4 years. I coached softball and volleyball last year. I got pulled into that. So I'm still coaching, but I just took a break from football, even though my oldest daughter told me last week, I believe it was, she said, Dad, you need to start back coaching football. You're too good. And that's my kid going to high school. She's like, look, Dad, you need to go and coach. You need to do something. All right, Coach Derek says, and we're going to wrap this up in 5 minutes, guys. So again, like and subscribe to the channel if you're getting value. Look, we keep it real on this show, right? We keep it real, guys. I want this show to be the only, I want this to be the place where your questions get answered. And I want this to be a safe place too for you as a coach, because I'm going to keep it real with you guys always. You hear me? I'm going to keep it real with you always about parents, raising money, it don't matter. I'm going to keep it real with you. And so consider the Coach Beast Show as the safe place for, you to be able to get all the help you need as it relates to youth football. Coach Derek says, all of us coaches should secretly believe we have some way to motivate the kids more than the coach across the field from us on game day. Don't coach in fear of what the other team might do. 1,000%, coach. 1,000%. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. Coach Sanders says, I'm happy about next season, but I'm exhausted by the time postseason comes around. Yeah, man, we all are. I would say it never fails, guys. Every year I coach, it don't matter the sport. By the time I get to the middle of the season, I am like burned out, like I'm done, like I'm pushing, because the thing about it is, if you guys are like me, which I'm a business owner, I've been a business owner for 10 years, 11 years now, right? So focusing on the business, working on the business every day is a grind. Then you got your wife, you got your kids, that's a grind. You got your own hobbies and things of that nature, that's a grind. And then you go into practice every day, and you're, when you go to practice, you ain't there kumbaya, right? You're actually practicing, coaching kids up, spending energy trying to help and correct these kids, right? Or get them ready to play. And then don't have, seasons where, it's a nightmare season, you're losing games, you got drama in your program. It can get hard, right? And I say this all the time. It's easy to get into youth football coaching. It's harder to stay in the youth football coaching. I'm gonna say it again. It's easier to get into youth football coaching. It's very hard to stay in there because, like, number one, we don't get paid to do what we do. We're volunteering, and it's not easy, right? But then a lot of us are spending the money that we actually make with our, like me, I don't mind spending money on my program and my kids. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind. But I'm getting at that age, y'all. I'm almost 40. I'm getting at that age where Coach Beast is tired. Coach Beast is burned out. You know what I'm saying? By the middle of the season, about 50, 60% there. But you got to remember, Coach, you got to keep the main thing the main thing. Coach JP says, Coach, number 2 exists only when I'm in a toxic program or environment. Now, look, facts, okay? If you're in a toxic program, a toxic environment, or having a nightmare season, you're going to experience number 2. You're going to not want to coach. If you got coaches who are trying to, and this is something we talked about yesterday, if you got coaches who are trying to sabotage your program, trying to get you out of there, you're going to have those moments, right, where you don't want to do it. But I've had moments, guys, where we undefeated, things going great, and I'm just like, this is it. I'm tired. And I say that because as coaches, we evolve. Coaching is very progressive, right? Meaning you don't have to stay a youth football coach. That's grassroots, right? That's the beginning. It's the foundation. I got friends who started off as youth football coaches, start coaching junior high. You know, they may have went to school, got their degree to teach, and they became high school coaches or college coaches. And depending on what your goals are as a coach, with them relationships built, you may move up to coach high school. You know, one thing I say is one of my biggest regrets is I wish I would have started coaching high school ball in my 20s early on. You know what I'm saying? But I was so focused in my career, my corporate career at the time in banking and in intelligence that I just thought, hey, I make better money doing what I'm doing opposed to pursuing, you know, paying $20,000 for my master's degree to be able to coach football, you know, in teaching, making maybe $40,000 a year, teaching with a $3,000 to $6,000 coaching stipend for the entire football season. Didn't work for me. Just me. That's Coach Beast. That's why I say there's a lot of coaches who would make great high school coaches or JV coaches or junior high coaches, but some of us got our own businesses and our own careers where we just make more money and it just affords us more time with our families. All right, guys, make sure I get to everybody's questions. Coach Deuce says, had a mom ask for a scholarship for her kid, but she's driving a brand new Cadillac SUV and a ring on each finger. Bro, I had a very similar experience to that. I had a guy, and funny enough, he pulled his kid from the team about 3 weeks in, but I had a guy brought his son to practice, and this guy, I hate to say it, I'm gonna say it. This guy, he stayed in the hood, but he was driving a Beamer. He was driving like a six-figure car. Stayed in the hood, and then he's trying to get a scholarship for his kid to play. Bro, it's only $100 for your kid to play, and then you got to get his equipment. So you're paying probably $250 to $300 altogether for your son to play. And then, you know, we still donated. We got a loaner program. We had a loaner program in our league at the time where we'll donate helmets and shoulder pads for the kid to play. And so the kid got the helmet and shoulder pads, but the dad would not budge. And then he pulled his kid off the team, and, you know, he got arrogant and attitudinal, about it. And again, like, I'm the type of man where I'm taking care of my family. If my kids, like right now, in a couple of days, I got 3 girls that's going to be on the track team. That's a lot of money I'm going to have to put out for them to play. I'm not finna ask for no scholarship if I'm a man. That's just me. I'll figure it out. It's $100. It's not a mortgage payment. It's not 20 grand. It's $100. And a lot of people spend $100 on Chick-fil-A for the week. People will pay for what they value. Understand that, coaches. People will pay for what they value. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them paint no sob story and give you some lame ass excuse. People will pay for what they value. If they see a baddie and they ask the baddie out and they go on a date, right, and the baddie is a bougie baddie and like the finer things, you better believe their ass will find a way to get money to be able to afford that baddie, period. If somebody really want a car and they got to pay $3,000 down on a new car, they're going to find a way to get it. So don't let them play you like that, coach, because they will play you if you let them. And some of these parents, like really struggling and got a hardship. Like, I remember this single mom, man. I love this lady. I think her name was Kim. Shout out to Kim. she had a son, good boy, straight A student, and she was working 2 jobs just trying to make ends meet. She never was able to come to practice as a key game because she worked so much, but she made sure that boy was at practice every game. So what you think we did? We wanted to help her and her son in any kind of way. Shout out to Eric. During the course of the season. But then you got some, like they just got bad habits. I'm gonna just say bad habits. I'm gonna just keep it there. I've seen it all. All right, coach. Let's see here. And this is going to be the last question. Guys, I may do a bonus question. We'll see how it goes. If you got a question, drop it in the comment section. If you just chiming in and you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. Let's subscribe. I got a giveaway coming up soon, and the more interactive we are, the more I'm gonna give away my money, the resources. We did the TV giveaway last year and it was great. And it's crazy. We did 2 TV giveaways last year, and unbelievable. The guys won. I had guys who won initially, but I sent the email out, messaged them. They never followed up. That's the weirdest thing. Like, we gave away a 65-inch smart TV HD, great TV, right? TV any man would want in their man cave. And we had guys who didn't even respond to the winning message. Don't be that. Because on this show, we are going to have some giveaways down the pipeline, because that's who we are. The Beast family, we're givers, and we love football. We love coaches. All right, Coach Derek says, got some running backs fast, keep dancing and running east and west, 10 years old. Can't seem to get them to lean forward and go north and south quicker, wasting so many yards. Coming for youth. Absolutely, Coach. Very common for youth, because, see, the thing about youth sports, we know, and y'all hear me every show say this, but we know that youth football teams run the ball 80 to 85% of the time, okay? And of that 80 to 85, 90% of the time, they're going to run to the outside, sweeps and things of that nature 80% of the time. So a lot of kids are conditioned to hit the outside. What we do to totally eliminate that, we have tackling drills where, we call it half side, which means we will give them about 10 yards of space, outside space to run. Okay. And they have to pick the and we'll put pads down. We'll put like 3 running lanes down. They have to pick the running lane they're going to hit within that 5-yard window, right? Of field. What that does is it forces them to read their running lanes and not kick it to the outside. They shoot their running lanes and they go, or they take the hit. They learn to take the hit, read their running lanes, make a move in traffic. And that's what we do. We force that because we know kids got the habit to run to the outside. We got a thing that we say, don't leave your island. What's the island? The island is your lead blockers. Don't leave your lead blockers. Don't leave the island. If they leave the island, that means 9 times out of 10, they hit the outside, left their blockers. Now they're just trying to make a play on their own. We hate teaching that because, like, when you're running the beast offense, you got so many blockers to run behind. Why in the hell are you kicking it to the outside with no blockers? You got 5 to 6 blockers lead blocking for you. Follow your running lane, follow your blockers, and then the crease gonna open up, and then you can explode and then head towards the sideline after you go through the second level. But on the first level, unless the play is designed to be a sweep or some kind of reverse or stretch play or something like that, like, we want you to run off tackle. We want you to know how to run counters off tackle. We want you to know how to run dives and all of that stuff. So we have drills, even lead blocking drills, guys. If y'all haven't got my free offensive blocking drill book, you want to get it. It's in my store. Make sure you get that because I got a drill. We call it the zone blocking drill or the lead blocking drill. I can't remember because I got 2 that's very similar, where The ball carrier, we teach him just to run behind his block. We just simulate that, and we rinse and repeat. Rep. We rep it out. And that's how you got to do it, coach. Rep it out. If your kid, and this is the thing, coach, if your kid is running to the outside all the time at practice, he's going to do it at the game. So you got to cut that habit out at practice, and you're going to have to be stern with him a little bit. You're going to have to sting him. I call it stinging. You got to be a little firm with him a little bit so he can understand how important it is, okay? Because usually a kid that got a natural tendency to run to the outside, it's a bad habit. It's just a habit. He probably does it at the house. He does it in PE, and he know he's fast and he can outrun people, right? Well, we force the kid in drills to go north and south. I never forget, we got a kid. I had a kid on the team. His name Isaiah. Shout out to Isaiah, aka IP, one of my favorite kids. This kid is an all-American track runner now in high school. But this kid, one of the fastest kids I ever had, and he had a bad tendency to run to the outside. I like calling him Barry Sanders because we started doing drills where we forced him to run off tackle, and the kid was so shifty in the gap, right? The kid was so freaking shifty. He was just hard to tackle. And when he hit his crease, he's gone. He was like the fastest kid on our team, but he wasn't even our starting running back. He was our fourth running back. But the reason why he was our fourth running back is because he had the bad habit of running to the outside. So we continued to develop him. He got better, right? The kid could have started on any youth football team. But we wanted to break that habit, and we wanted him to use his strength, which is making people miss. And we did. And of course, we had play, we had a B sweeps, and we had plays that really allow him to do his thing with running to the outside, right? But we really focus on gap discipline, running with a purpose, following your blockers. That's all fundamentals, right? All fundamentals. All right, coach. So with that being said, that's end of this segment, end of the show, guys. But before you go, it's a few things that I want to talk to you about before we end the show today. So as you guys know, a lot of you guys have been on since the beginning. We practice. Y'all got me in football mode. The show is Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we won't be on tomorrow, okay? As you guys know, Coach Beast will be posting his videos, and I will be active on social. We're just not doing the show. So the show is Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Go ahead, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe now to the channel, guys, so you can be up to date whenever we do the show. I'm going to start to do these random pop-ups as well, so you don't want to miss it if you really enjoy the show. Also, guys, look, a lot of you guys have been asking about my playbooks, which is best for your team, which is best. This is what I recommend. My Beast Unleashed playbook bundle is 85% off all 17 of my playbooks, right? Just get them all. They're the price of one or two playbooks. Just get all 17, get the whole system, and then you can customize your playbook the way you want. Or if you're like, all right, coach, look, I want to get the bundle, but my money kind of funny right now. Start off with the individual playbook that you want. I tell all of you guys, start off with the Beast 1.0 and then work your way to get whatever else you want. If you want kind of more of a pass-oriented offense, maybe the air raid is something to look at. The single back offense is something to look at. The pistol set that's in the air raid 2.0 is in there as well. So don't procrastinate on your preparation, coach, this season. It's February 27 as this video is playing, and I'm here to tell you, if you were in my league, you already know Coach Beast is active, and I'm already getting ready for the fall season. And so you don't want to be that coach that's waiting to the summertime or fall to get started because your league don't want you to recruit, or your league don't want you to get kids, or don't want you to practice before the season starts. Screw that. I don't believe in that. I don't respect that, because the reality is parents want their kids to develop and practice. And for the best kids, especially, parents got their kids active in activities with baseball, basketball, track, wrestling, you name it. And guess what? Guess who's coaching them? Maybe their future football coach, or maybe, there are other coaches out there who got kids on the team. And now you're getting out recruited because you're quiet all year. Get yourself out there, coach. Build relationships with the kids so you can have the advantage in the fall and have all the talent that you want and need to run your system the way you want to run it. That's how you do it. And guys, look, the spring basically here now. Okay, we're in the South. It was 75, 80 degrees today in the South. Beautiful day. I don't know where you are. If you West Coast, you already know the weather beautiful over there, right? So now it's the time to go ahead and get out. Don't get caught or left behind because you think you got time. No, youth football is a year-round sport now. Yeah, you may play and compete in your regular games in the fall, but guess what? We got spring ball. I got coaches messaging me left and right, asking me, do I have a 7-on-7 playbook? I do. It's in my store. That's one of the selling playbooks right now, 7-on-7, because the spring is here. Coaches are preparing to develop their kids, their skill guys, for 7-on-7. Then you got other coaches who are preparing their big boys through wrestling, or they're doing their own personal training with their kids, and they want to know what drills to do so they get the off-season practice playbook. So the choice is up to you, coach. Okay, I'm gonna answer this last question and we are out of here. Big Pick, how you doing, man? I hope you're doing good. He want to know, do you use or can you recommend any apps to create plays? Okay, great question. I had this question asked earlier to me. Look, guys, I only use Microsoft PowerPoint to develop my plays. That's right. I tried other apps. I didn't like them. It just was, for me, there's 650 plays that I've designed so far with the bundle. And I would be pissed off if I did that from any other app than Microsoft PowerPoint. It's simple, it's practical, you don't lose your data. And then I can convert it into a PDF file for you guys to get and do whatever you want. It's just easy. I'm able to finish it. You're welcome, coach. I'm able to do all my playbooks, publish them, put them in my store. So as soon as you get the playbook, guess what? You got it. As soon as you make your purchase, going straight to your email. You don't have to wait in the mail for anything. I like speed. So and I do a lot of online shopping. So I like when I buy a digital product or a book, I want it now. I don't want to wait 5 to 7 business days. No, you get it instantly. You paid your money instantly, you get it instantly. That's my mindset, right? That's the way I am. All right, coach, that's it for the show, man. Look, I had a blast today. I had a blast. Again, y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I hope y'all have a really blessed weekend, a blessed Friday. If I missed your question, forgive me, guys. Forgive me. Again, guys, we want to use the super chat feature a little bit more, because here's the thing. The show is growing. The show is growing. More and more coaches find out about the show, the more people are going to be asking me questions, and I may not be able to get to your question, on a particular show. But if you want to support me or just get your question answered, you can always do super chat. If you don't want to do super chat and you're like, hey, if you missed it, I'll be on, the next time the show goes on, fine with me. Fine with me, guys, whatever. I just want to give you options and opportunities to get whatever you need from me and from the show. All right, guys. With that being said, guys, look, I hope and I pray y'all have a really blessed weekend. I want y'all to be safe. I want y'all to have fun. And I want y'all to prepare for this season. Don't take it lightly, because, look, you're more than a youth football coach. You are a leader. You are a mentor. You are a life changer. You hear me? Don't let nobody disrespect you or downplay who you are as a man or woman. If women don't hear coaching, don't let nobody disrespect you, because at the end of the day, you play a monumental part in the life of your kids, and we're going to make youth football great again as a unit. Y'all feel me? We're going to make youth football great again. We're going to get all this BS out of our leagues. We're going to eliminate all this crazy fighting and ego-driven coaching and kids getting hurt and neglected. We're taking all of that crap out, and we all going to be the standard in our leagues. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that youth football remains and it improves, and we get better quality men and women like yourself coaching kids for long term. And when I say long term, you may coach only a year or two. Some of you may coach 4 years. Some of you may coach 20 years, 15 years, like Coach Beast, right? But however long you coach, we want your coaching experience to be fun, impactful, and fulfilling. Y'all hear me? With that being said, guys, y'all have a blessed weekend. I will see you Monday. Remember to win more games, score more points, and beast out. All right? Peace. Be blessed.